it's Melissa from Silhouette School. I am so excited to have an unboxing for you today. I have gotten for years questions about Epson printers and specifically around sublimation. And so today I finally have my very own Epson sublimation printer. So we're going to talk a lot about the difference between Epson printers and Epson sublimation printers. Why, after probably 5 years of working with a Sawgrass, am I now adding this Epson? So we'll get to all of that. So Epson actually has two sublimation printers, designated, meant to be used sublimation printers. This is the smaller of the two. It is the F170. It's the SureColor F170. So we're going to unbox that today. This is not a review. I haven't used it yet, so I don't know how it's going to work, how it's going to print, or anything like that. What I can tell you is one of the reasons that I was like, I need to consider an Epson is because that Sawgrass, the SG400, which I've been, again, using for at least 5 years, it's a discontinued model, which is fine. It works totally fine, but I'm at the point right now where I again have to refill the ink. And the ink cartridges for that Sawgrass sublimation printer, each of them is 31 milliliters, and it costs over $300 to refill it every single time if you use the Sawgrass ink. So honestly, it's just expensive. This Epson itself is $399 just for the printer, and it comes with 140 milliliters of each color ink. Okay, so think about that. 31 milliliters to refill the Sawgrass for about 300 if I use the Sawgrass inks, or get a new machine for $399 and it comes with 140 milliliters of each ink. So it was one of those things where I was like, the math is kind of working out. Like, it's kind of a good time for me to just see if this thing is even worth it anyway. And since I know lots of you guys have been asking me, it's a good time for us to try this one out, okay? So let's just see what's in the box. This is literally just showed up. We'll get to all of this here in a minute. Let's see. This is literally the smallest printer I have ever seen. That it is it prints 8.5 inches wide by like something like 49 or 50 inches long, because you can put, it'll take I guess it's a small roll. Okay, so let's just see how this goes, all right? Okay, so I actually, let's see, unbox this thing. We'll see what all is comes with this. This does work with both a Mac and a PC, so I love that, because if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I have both a Mac and a PC, but I reluctantly use my PC and only use it when I have to. There's a couple of other printers that I have, a white toner and the Roland BN 20A. They only run on Windows, so I have to have that one. But this one will run on Windows and Mac. So yay for that. And there's just some tape. I'm just pulling off this packing material here. And then we'll open up this box and see what else is in here. Okay, and see if we can, what we've got. This is literally the smallest of the printers that I have. Not the smallest print size, just the footprint of the printer itself is the smallest printer that I have. Okay, it's really nice actually. So you can print, like I said, you can print 8.5 inches wide, but then you can print, I can't remember off the top of my head, I think it's 49 inches long. So really long as far as an 8.5 inch wide printer. And you do not need a bypass tray. So the Sawgrass will print longer than 8.5 by 14, but you do need to add on the bypass, which is, I think it's between 2 and 250. Okay, so here's the ink. This is, again, a CMYK printer. It comes with the 4 inks, okay? As I said, each one is 140 milliliters, okay? So if you compare that to the Sawgrass, this is 144 inks, and the Sawgrass comes with the starter ink, which is 20 milliliters. Okay, so 7 times more ink comes with the machine. Okay, and then when you refill the Sawgrass, you get the larger cartridges, which are 31, but still much, much bigger. Okay, and then we have just the power cord. All right, so pretty simple and straightforward as far as unboxing. And then you've got the starting here installation guide, which I will do a setup video separately. You've got what this is. It's mostly in other languages. Literally, I see no English. Oh, bag for transportation and storage. Put the printer in a plastic bag, otherwise it will leak. All this whole paper to say that. And this is the bag. Okay, so that's clearly for later. So that's it. The whole box. That's all that was in there. So clearly it's USB. Oh yeah, you can use a USB. It probably, I don't know if it has Wi-Fi or not. I'll have to check that out. It did not come with a USB cord, just so you know. Okay, and then the ink here, which I will have to see how to fill, but this is the ink tank right here. Let's see if we can even, oh, I still have tape on there. Okay, whoops. Gently removing that. Okay, oh, and here we go. Okay, so the setup is going to be, as I said, I'll do another video on that, but you've got the ink storage containers here, and then it comes with the ink that we'll use to put in there, and then obviously you would need sublimation paper. Now, a lot of people use their other Epsons, whether that's an Eco Tank or another type of Epson, another inkjet, and convert it to a sublimation printer. The reason, and again, I know lots and lots and lots of you are doing that or are thinking about doing that or have done that. Just be aware that as soon as you put sublimation ink in one of the Epsons that's not a sublimation printer, you are voiding that warranty before you even make your first print. Because, first of all, it's not a sublimation printer, and believe it or not, even though it works as one, there's differences on the inside, right? So the sublimation printer has a special print head that works best with the sublimation ink. On the other Epson machines, if you put sublimation ink in those print heads, which are not intended for it, it's eventually going to wear those print heads down and they will eventually fail. It could be 3 months, it could be a year, it could be 2 years, but just know that not only are you going to avoid that warranty before your first print, but you are also going to risk the quality of the printer, the integrity of the printer. So this one, the F170, SureColor F170 from Epson, is one of their sublimation printers. There's also the F570, which I also just got. That one is a 24-inch sublimation printer, and it's a beast. But there are some really awesome benefits for it, and I would still call it a desktop sublimation printer. You can't see it here because it's on a desk behind the camera, but definitely still fits in my craft room. So anyway, if you guys are thinking about getting an Epson F170 or a sublimation printer in general, I would keep researching, and we'll see how this one performs as far as how easy the setup is, how easy it is to print, and the quality compared to some of the other sublimation printers out there.